How's it going, guys? Long day of football, but welcome into Rover Sports. And wanted to talk about tonight's game. A couple of big storylines that I wanted to talk about here in like an 8-minute video is that, first off, let's congratulate Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. I thought that their defense was awesome. Their front four, whenever Todd would catch the football, they were there to make plays. Alford was a beast tonight. That guy Poole was making plays all over the field. Keanu Neal, the back end was great. In terms of stopping the run, they did a pretty nice job. Really firm tackling. Dan Quinn really got his guys up to play some defense tonight. And then the special teams. 2 turnovers that really flipped the game. Matt Ryan, he didn't turn over the football. He took points when it was there. Matt Bryant was huge tonight making field goals. But there's an overarching theme of this show and of this episode. And it's that Jared Goff, to me, looks like a quarterback at this moment, and I believe this for the long run. If I was going to make a guess whether Jared Goff would ever get to an NFC championship or whether he would ever win games, I'm not sure Jared Goff and his ceiling hasn't been reached yet this year. If you look back at Jared Goff's games this year, Jared Goff played against the Cardinals, he would play against the Giants, and the defense with Wade Phillips was very good all year long. Tonight there were some sketchy calls with Wade, sending the house there and letting Sanu get 3. Sark schooled him on that final call. But Wade Phillips tonight, the defense bent, but it didn't break. They held Atlanta to field goals. Aaron Donald still got in and made several plays. They still sacked Matt Ryan a bunch in the game tonight. But really it comes down to Jared Goff. And Jared Goff, like against the Giants, he would inflate his numbers. His numbers would be inflated when he would do a screen pass out to Todd Gurley. His numbers would be inflated when he would occasionally hit Sammy Watkins over the top. But this quarterback, Jared Goff, he doesn't have an elite downfield arm. He just doesn't. Jared Goff's competitive nature, he's a little bit more laid back, which I don't really prefer. I like guys like Cam or like Jameis Winston that are going to get in your face, that get pissed off on the sidelines. I like the Russell Wilsons that clap, get fired up, and I like guys that take chances. And tonight, Jared Goff was afraid to make window throws. Jared Goff, one, he takes for damn ever to throw the ball. He's so frail and nimble that if you lay a hand on him, he goes down. So he's not like a big kid like a Josh Allen. And this guy has really no mobility, and it takes forever for him to get ready to throw the football. And really, Sean McVay's put on some tremendous window dressing over Jared Goff. And, you could call this a hot take or not, but I don't see Jared Goff ever winning playoff games. I just don't. I thought that the effort tonight offensively was just so piss poor. And from Sean McVay and staff, they got it out to Gurley a little bit. Their defense couldn't get off the field, and Atlanta just milked the whole damn clock and just took care of the game from start to finish, had control from start to finish. It was an incredible mismatch in coaching. Dan Quinn just schooled the frick out of Sean McVay. He schooled him to a pulp. That's what I meant to say. Atlanta had that game from the jump. They didn't surrender it. Third down conversions after third down conversion. Austin Hooper, that third down there was huge late in the game. That set up the Sanu screen. And then the throw to Julio Jones where Roby Coleman just didn't break on the football at all. It was hanging up there. And Matt Ryan put it in a spot and Julio made a play. And for Matt Ryan, he's okay. But Matt Ryan is a quarterback that is at least a lot more athletic than Jared Goff. At least has a lot stronger arm than Jared Goff. Can at least fit it in the tight windows. At least can stretch the field a little bit. And just Jared Goff is just slow. He takes forever to get set back up to pass the football. When he does, he doesn't take chances in the second level with passes. I'm just not a Jared Goff believer at all. And although he had a nice season, when push comes to shove in the playoffs, I was all in on the LA Rams, and I couldn't have been wrong. I mean, they were my pick to go, all the way to the Super Bowl. That's how embarrassing the pick is, because I thought that they would be hosting the Saints back home. I thought they would go to Minnesota and learn. I had so much faith in Sean Mcvay. I valued Sean McVay like a god, and I think Sean McVay is that. But if you look at Jared Goff and his production, I'm still not the biggest Jared Goff fan. Like, I think if you put Josh Allen in this offense, it just gets a lot more lethal. I just don't see Jared Goff as a lethal assassin. I see him a little bit like Dak Prescott. He's a fourth-round talent. He's not a Carson Wentz. He's not a quarterback like a Jameis Winston. He doesn't have the same skills as Marcus Mariota. Baker Mayfield, I would take in a heartbeat over Jared Goff. I would take Josh Allen in a heartbeat. I'd take Josh Rosen in a damn heartbeat over Jared Goff. I would even take Lamar Jackson. He could be dangerous in this offense. There's quarterbacks that are coming out right now that I absolutely would take over Jared Goff. And tonight, you could say, Sammy Watkins dropped that one ball and whatever. There's no quick offense with Jared Goff. In the playoffs, you need to convert on third downs, and you also need to make big, deep throws down the field. Jared Goff did none of that. Very lackluster performance from the Rams. They came out sleepy tonight, and they got beat to a pulp by Dan Quinn and Atlanta. Atlanta looks great. Atlanta should, get after Nick Foles. Their defense looks really good. As long as the defensive line can play, as long as they stop Jay Ajayi like they stopped Todd Gurley, Atlanta, Matt Ryan will protect the football. Atlanta should take care of business next week against the Eagles, and then that's going to set up a very interesting matchup where then I think Atlanta has a very good chance now to really go deep in these playoffs, because, I think Atlanta can beat Minnesota. Today really showed us a lot of things, the importance of quarterback play in the NFL. It showed us that Marcus Mariota was elite, and I'll get to that video for my second video. But it was just an incredibly disappointing performance by the Rams. It was very reminiscent of the Steelers' performance last year. The game was sleepy. They weren't quick enough. I know that Sean McVay kept his timeout, stayed aggressive as he could, but they're going to have to make a difficult decision and an unpopular one, and I think that Jared Goff is very expendable. He's a fourth-round talent. He reminds me of Dak Prescott, where he's a system quarterback, where they have an elite running back, and his goal is to just, throw the football and dump it off, And even though Jared's a great kid and everything, and even though he does things right, he just doesn't have that elite next-level skill set. And if you're a Rams fan, you're going to need it. Or else Jimmy Garoppolo's going to eat your lunch. Or else Russell Wilson maybe can. But Jimmy G and the Niners, after tonight's game, I thought that Sean McVay and Jared Goff, I thought that they would, really, continue to thrive. I thought that he would hit Cooper Kupp. I thought he would play decisive, and he played small. He didn't make throws. He played nervous and scared. And playing scared ain't going to get you the big bucks. And Jimmy Garoppolo and the Niner Nation, you guys should feel really good about yourselves and the Niner Empire, because you guys now really hold the mantle to the NFC West. This was a devastating loss for the Rams. I mean, Connor Barwin is old. Andrew Whitworth is old. Ogletree is getting older. Roby Coleman is not young. Tremaine Johnson is a free agent. Robert Woods will have to be paid. And Robert Woods was the one guy who had tremendous success in the game. Todd Gurley's going to have to get paid. Your quarterback is a lot better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Your defense matches up well. You look at Atlanta's defense. You stop Todd Gurley, you have a wonderful chance to win. If you stop Todd, you can win. And the NFL is going to catch up to this offense. And unless, LA can get a really good quarterback in there, a quarterback that can make a difference, they're gonna continue to kind of be behind the chains just in about every regard. So tonight was very eye-opening, and not for all the right reasons if you're an LA Rams fan.